Well, well, well. Look who it is. It is Mangs, the prophet, the future seer, the fortune teller. Look, I'm not saying I have the ability to read the future, okay? But is it any coincidence that sometime after I go on my little rant about Tier 0 and how I wish to see Osomar play, that suddenly, all of a sudden, Advanced Wars by Web allows us to queue up as Tier 0 in unrated live matches. Now, it was a weekly event. Sadly, it just ended. I wish I uploaded this video sooner so you guys could have actually gone and experienced it for yourself. But yeah, look at this. From April 1st to April 7th, Tier 0 was actually an allowed live queue match. Only unrated though. And I had a lot of fun with this. I played several games, several of which I intend to show off on this channel. But man, it was a wild ride. Okay, it's not every day you get to play as Tier 0 COs in live games. I really wish they just let us do this all the time. Like, it's kind of cool that they do weekly events like this. And honestly, if you're gonna go down that route, make more of these little weekly events where you do weird and wacky things. Like I'd love to see like a week of just crazy rules. But you know, like, I had fun with this. I hope they bring this back. And they're actually doing a Tier 0 tag team tournament right now. I actually signed up for it. I'm in it. I look forward to casting games from that. It's going to be absolutely wild. So why do we almost never see Tier 0 COs? Well, it's usually because HACHI is the undisputed king of Tier 0. He's so much stronger than the rest that the league just becomes really unbalanced with him in it. But not always. So HACHI is obviously the strongest pick in most situations, but there are some situations where Combi can beat him if the map is small. And Colin is actually a lot stronger than him in high funds most of the time. I did several games on this channel where I pitched high funds Colin up against HACHI, and it's actually insane how strong Colin gets in high funds. Grit, of course, is a terror on some maps, and Sensei can probably challenge HACHI too if there's a map that battlecopters are really strong on and there's like lots of properties for him to generate infantry. Like, Tier 0 is not as done and dry as a lot of people say it is. Like, it's not like HACHI is the only viable pick. You can tune the maps around having several COs be viable picks. Even Sturm. Like, if it is a heavily forested map, Sturm can be an absolute terror. He can, like, overrun HACHI on, like, maps with tons of mountains and forests. So, I think that... Oh, maybe this is, like, copium on my part. I hope that the Advanced Wars by Web are testing the waters a little bit here for potentially maybe opening up a Tier 0 Global League or Live League ladder. Like, I really, really hope so, because these COs, it's so sad to see that they're, like, never played. Like Sensei sees a little bit of play in high funds, maybe a little bit of Combi, but, like, these COs, like, the broken ones, we never see them. And I had so much fun with this game that I'm going to show you guys today. Guys, it's a HACHI mirror. It's a high funds HACHI mirror. I was debating picking Colin, but I decided, man, how often do you get to use HACHI, man? So I decided to go with him. Now, HACHI is such an interesting CO, especially when you're in a HACHI mirror, because it really becomes a game of chicken. It becomes a game of chicken and big balls. So the reason why HACHI is so deadly is not because of his day-to-day, although it is good, and it's not because of his normal power. It is okay, but it's this Merchant Union that makes him broken. Because during Merchant Union, he can both skyrocket his unit count, and he can get a lot of units out really cheaply. And it also has the added benefit of cutting your opponent's power generation in half for a turn, because your units actually are worth 50% less when this power is active. Now, the thing about HACHI is that he's like an investment. You gotta, like, every money, like every fund that you spend outside of his superpower is a fund that you won't get to spend during his superpower, right? So what does that mean? It means that you want to save up income over several turns. So it becomes a game of chicken. If you see that your opponent is starting to save up, you have to save up. Because if he saves up and you don't save up, then he can just overrun you. However, if you save up too much and he pressures you, then what can happen is he can just win the game, right? So it's a really, really weird dynamic where both players are kind of feeling each other out, being aggressive, pulling back, and then you can see one of them is starting to save up and the other one is starting to save up. If you can save up like 2 turns worth of income and then pop a Merchant Union, you basically win the game. Because effectively, when you pop Merchant Union, your money is doubled for a turn. And the fact that you can also deploy units in cities means that you can just like spew out Neo-tanks everywhere, meet Mega Tanks, put rockets on cities. It's just incredible. And add like a timed format into this, like a live time format, and boom, you get an absolutely crazy match. Now, my opponent today, see, he's like an alt, I think. He was just an 800. I don't want to click on him because that spoils the match. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's an alt because he doesn't play on the Global League and he played really well, so... And yeah, the map that we're playing on is called Raptus Regalitor. And it's a high funds map. As you can see, 2,000 income, no stealth fighters allowed. It has pre-deployed carriers, which I know a lot of people don't like when the Monsters by awbw do this, but it's kind of funny in a way because you actually have missiles on this map. This is like one of the few maps that actually has a missile silo on it, which allows you to fire one missile for 3 HP of damage. But you have to clear away the carrier to get to it. And the carrier is also locking down your airport. So it's in your best interest to build an artillery quickly from this base and get this carrier down. This also means that there's going to be a 60k worth of power generation for both sides. Or closer to 45k, since it's 30k for you losing your carrier and then like 15k for you taking down the carrier. So you get your powers very quickly, which of course snowballs HACHI a lot quicker as well. So, really cool map. I like these ports right here. They're actually pretty good for building battleships because you can lock down like basically one side of the map. You got many labs in the center. You start with 2 labs each. If you capture both labs, then they are treated as HQs. So you got to be careful to not lose control of the center or you will actually lose by lab cap. There are comm towers, which is nice. Without comm towers, maps like these can get a little too stally in my opinion. And it's pretty open. It's a very open map. I really like it. You could even build some black boats here to ferry some infantry into the center from the space. Lots of cool stuff that you can do with this particular map right here. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to start this match. Let's get going. So, you will see the timers up here. Keep this in mind. Timers are very important when playing Live League. So, I'm in the red trunks over here, and my opponent is in the blue trunks. Seath, my opponent. Not sure who it is. Some kind of alt, I'm pretty sure. Because he played really well. No way he's like a fresh 800. So, on this map, you kind of want to just capture the properties as quickly as you can. You have this property right here in the center, which you need to get. And one kind of funny thing about playing with HACHI is that your money values are going to be really weird, right? Because, like, look at that. With the 10% discount, then... like, it's kind of hard to plan ahead because, like, your prices are so out of whack. Even though it's just like a 10% discount, it really messes with your mind sometimes. So my opponent opens up a recon here, which I think is a good opener because the recon can move pretty quickly over the map and be annoying. But I just had the money for a tank, so that's nice. But the thing about recon and high funds is that you can kind of afford to sack it to interrupt a cap, because if you interrupt our cap, that's 2k per turn that your opponent is not getting. So the recon earns itself in very quickly. So I actually think the recon opener on this map was really solid. But yeah, both players just kind of getting their properties. Tank is chasing the recon a little bit in the center right here. I build an artillery to deal with the carrier. I kind of want to start getting battlecopters out of this airport quickly. My opponent also capturing the airport, and I think he's going to have roughly the same idea right here. Moves out, and he gets a nice little interrupt here. Like, I can attack right here, but it won't kill the recon because I'm HACHI. My opponent also builds an artillery here, so both of us are going to start attacking. So yeah, once again attacking here because HACHI doesn't have any firepower bonuses. This recon's going to be safe. He can pull that back for repairs. Although, as HACHI, you actually don't want to be repairing that much. And this is something that I messed up with frequently here. I go on medium tank. HACHI does not want to spend too many money on repairs, because repair money is money that he won't spend on a future merchant union. So with HACHI, you actually want to really curb your desire to repair units, because if you repair too much, I mean, that's money that's money lost that you can't invest into the future, right? So with HACHI, try to just not repair. Like, there are situations like repair infantry is fine, but you don't want to be repairing expensive vehicles and whatnot. Now I build a medium tank to ward away this little tank right here, but my opponent is also pushing on this side with his tank. And I move forward a little bit ambitiously right here on the city. And I actually just had to get a black boat out because I want to use this black boat to transport infantry into the center. But in hindsight, it probably was a bit of a dumb move. I should have built like a medium tank here, I think, instead, because I don't have much of a tank presence here. He has 2 tanks, so this black boat isn't really going to do much. So, not my best move, in my opinion. Probably shouldn't have done that. Like, the black boat is a cute play, but it should have waited a little bit, I think. And with the comm tower, he now attacks my carrier. And this was a pretty good move by him, using the recon to block the comm tower there, and I can't really get it this turn, so... yeah, my opponent played really well. Also gets a Neo Tank out. Neo Tank is a good counter to the medium tank. So I could tell I was up against a pretty strong opponent here. Like, this is not going to be an easy match. He's playing really well. So I have no choice but to attack the recon, which delays the capture of a com tower by 1 turn, which actually does matter quite a bit. I have to move back with my tank, and this is what I'm talking about with the Blackbolt. The Blackbolt isn't really doing much here. And I built a battlecopter despite this carrier being here. I don't think he even took a shot at it, if I remember correctly. I think he just waited. So he takes a shot at my carrier, moves forward, and he was really hell-bent on interrupting these cities right here. And this is well played by him, because here's the thing. Every city that HACHI has is a potential base. Now, you may look at this and go, wow, isn't he like throwing away tanks here? It's actually completely valid to do this. Denying these 2 properties from HACHI is a very solid play. Keep in mind, you have to treat each of these cities like a base. And it's also money. And he's going to do something now that I've seen done on this map before. He didn't build the battleship yet, but he will build a battleship. I'm going to spoil that. So with the battleship out, he can pretty much deny these properties all game. So he played really well here. Like, it doesn't matter that he's throwing away some tanks. Here, I take away the carrier, and the missile silo is exposed. And say what you will about HACHI, he sure is great, but, man, he doesn't have any firepower, and that is frustrating sometimes. You can see that my opponent saved up almost 30k. He only built infantry this turn. So he's going to probably pop a merchant unit next turn. So I'm kind of forced to do the same here, which puts me in a bit of an awkward spot, because I don't really have a counter to this Neo-Tank. I really would like to build a Neo-Tank myself, but because my opponent banked up 30k, I cannot spend like 18k on a HACHI Neo-Tank. I just cannot. So I have to build infantry and save up for my merchant union. Now my opponent here, I think he's going to pop it. Yeah, he does pop the merchant union. So with 60k in the bank, that basically means he has 120k of money to spend right now, which is pretty crazy. And now the missile silos are available for both players as well. And you can see he's really throwing vehicles into it. Like, he's doing everything he can to interrupt my captures. Normally, you wouldn't play high funds this way. But with HACHI, denying properties is so important. It is more important than with any other CO. So as you can see right here, guys, Mega Tank, Battleship, Neo Tank, Tank, Recon, Infantry, 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 Infantry. Boom! Skyrockets his unit count, and he spends perfect amount of money too. This is how I knew I was up against someone very strong, because like, look, he perfectly calculated his power. He spent a lot of time on this, as you can see too. At the end of it, 12 minutes left to my 21. 12 minutes left to my 21. It's pretty crazy. But of course, it is my turn to pop the Merchant Union, and I actually decide to pop a missile here. Because I'm like, you know what? I don't really have a way to deal with that Neo-Tank, so I'm just going to pop my missile here, build a Neo-Tank. And I realize that these properties are going to be very hard for me to get right now. So I need to pull back a little bit and prepare an attack. And I build a battleship as well. I build a bomber to threaten this battleship. And a bunch of infantry, so you can see both of us are really high in the unit count right now. Now here, he does something incredibly smart. He uses the missile to target my Mega Tank and the battleship, and he moves in with his Mega Tank to target fire my battleship and gets it down to 4 HP. Pretty scary. And once again, you can see he's not repairing. He's using his low HP vehicles to harass and interrupt captures. He played really well. And right now he sits to 19 cities to my 15. And now with all the chaos here, it's going to be very hard for me to get these cities. So I know that I'm in a lot of trouble right now. Now, he is very low on time though. Extremely low on time, actually. 10 minutes to my 19. So my hope here is, I know I'm facing a better player here, but I'm hoping that maybe the time pressure will get to him. That he'll eventually play on increment. And that once he plays on increment, I'll be able to outplay him. This is usually my game plan against stronger opponents, is that may not be better than them, but I'm fast. I play really quickly, and I think pretty quickly. So my idea is to bank up just a lot of time and use that time advantage to win against my opponent. So I get a decent shot here against this Mega Tank, and this is another reason why the Blackbolt is pretty nice. Look at that. You can resupply your Mega Tanks, which only have 3 shots. Very nice. And once again, I'm trying to go for the captures. And he did play pretty recklessly this turn, so I'm able to kill a lot of his units. And I'm able to get this property right now, which is very nice. But I do have to form a bit of a defensive wall right here. I just want to try and get some of these cities at least. And once again, you can see I'm only building infantry and battle corpses this turn. Because, again, I think I'm going to get a merchant union next turn based on all the engagements that are going to take place. But man, and yeah, he even goes for the Neo-Tank attack right here. But man, he was just so aggressive with the interrupts. He's just not letting me have any properties at all. It's absolutely insane, actually. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, this match is turning into an absolute brawl right here with the bomber coming in. The artillery now threatening the ocean. But I do have a good unit count lead on him. And as you can see, Merchant Union is ready, but I probably don't want to pop it this turn. So I decided to go for, or actually I think I do pop it this turn. Yeah, because I got 38k in the bank. Yeah, so I go for the attack and I pop Merchant Union. However, this is a bit of a mistake because my opponent has 42k banked up. Plus 38k next turn. That's almost like an 80k Merchant Union. So I know that I have to deal a lot of damage to him this turn. So I move in and I try to do as much damage as I can. Unicorn Overlord OST, really? My playlists are weird sometimes, man. I mean, you don't get me wrong, Unicorn Overload is amazing, but not for this game. Way too hype for a replay commentary. I wouldn't be able to focus. So anyway, I continue my attack here, and as you can see right here, I'm actually combining units together. And this is very smart to do when you play as HACHI. You actually want to do this, because any money that you get by combining... Sure, you are sacrificing your unit count, but I'm kind of already ahead in unit count anyway. But every unit that you combine together is more money that you can spend on units. And keep in mind, during Merchant Union, your money is doubled. Now, it's actually something I need to check here. I might be an idiot, actually. So combining together artillery, I think I need to do it before the power. 35k. Oh my god, I'm a moron. Yeah, you gotta combine before you pop your power. Not because, oh my god, the value of these artillery. Yeah, okay, no wonder. My goodness. Yeah. I just realized I did a massive mistake. I didn't realize this while I was playing. I thought when you combine HACHI's units together, you get their full value regardless of... No, you gotta do it before your power is popped, not after. This does nothing. This does nothing. These artillery are worth 50% less now, so combining them together is actually bad. Yeah, okay, so if you take one lesson away from this game, do not combine during power. Combine before power. Oh my god, what an idiot. I didn't even realize I did this. I thought I was being so smart right now. And I built a lot of tanks this turn. So yeah, so I have a massive unit count advantage over him now, 47 to 27. But you know what my opponent has? 80k in the bank, and he just popped Merchant Union. That's 160k funds that he has to spend this turn. That's gonna be very annoying. And he gets to do a lot of his killing while my power is active, so this will not give me power charge. So this is a really good turn for him. And he builds so many mega tanks. 1, 2, 3, 4 mega tanks, ladies and gentlemen. Tank. But here he actually does something very cool. He doesn't actually build any more units. And so when I saw him do this, I was very surprised. But I think this was a deliberate choice from him. He only has 8 minutes left on the clock right now. I have 14. So what he's doing right now is actually doing something that I talked about in a video. When you are low on time and you're playing live, I'm not saying don't base skip, but don't go for high unit count because you're gonna lose out, right? So what he's doing here is essentially yeah, I'm just gonna beat you with vehicles. Now I'm not. I probably think he should have built infantry, but when I saw him do this, I was like, okay, interesting. I mean, I guess he's very confident in himself or something. But yeah, he decided to just forgo his unit count to not lose on time, which I do think is nice. Now, something actually very annoying happened here. I was actually on 21 minutes, I think, and I thought he went down to 2, and then I refreshed, and I saw that he had ended his turn. This is a bug that happens sometimes on the live league, and it's very annoying when it does. when you play Live League on Advanced Wars by Web and your opponent is mysteriously standing still, refresh the site, okay? Because sometimes they did actually end their turn, but the site didn't register it, and the timer will update. As you can see, now we're actually equal in time. I had like 20 minutes banked up, and then I thought he went down to 2, so I was feeling very good about myself. But then I refreshed the page, and I saw that we were almost equal in time, and this really made me angry, because I was like, come on. I actually had a very good time advantage against this guy, and that gave him like a lot of time to plan. And at this point, that Merchant Union that he just popped gave him such a massive advantage. As you can see, his value is far superior to mine. But, like, I may have a unit count lead, and I will get another Merchant Union at 50k, which will definitely keep me in the game. But as you can see, his snowball... Here, I actually sack vehicles to drain the ammo from the Mega Tank, which is something you can do sometimes. And you know, like, yeah, sure, I'm killing a lot of units, but at this point, his value... I mean, he's banked up another 38k. And yeah, I mean, this match is bonkers. And I'm able to produce so many units this turn due to having 50k. I mean, look at that. Look at all those units coming out. Boom, 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 45 units. But my opponent has banked up another 8k, 80k Merchant Union. And at this point, he has so much money that he doesn't need to make effective engagements. And he doesn't even need to build infantry at this point. He doesn't need to bother with it. Because right now, yeah, sure, 22 to 41 units. It looks really bad, but look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 mega tanks, 5 mega tanks, 1 battleship, anti-air, and he doesn't even bother with infantry. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to. Sure, I have a massive unit count lead on him, but it doesn't matter because his economy is just so much better than mine. How am I supposed to fight 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mega tanks? It's not possible. I don't have the economy to deal with this. I only have 27k in the bank. No Merchant Union this turn. Like, I can keep fighting for a while if I really want to. And maybe I should have kept fighting, but I do believe I will resign pretty soon. I'm even using like anti-air to drain ammo of the mega tanks. But mega tanks, the only counter to mega tanks are other mega tanks. Like, you could bring in some bombers, but they're not really going to do much. So, yeah, as you can see, like, these mega tanks will just not be stopped. They will not be stopped. They will just kill a unit every turn, and they'll take almost no damage back. And unless I can build mega tanks of my own, which I can do, but not nearly enough. I mean, I got 50k in the bank right here. I pop another Merchant Union. I'm very stubborn in this game. I'm like, come on, I might be able to do something here. I might be able to do something here, but yeah, no. Like, and look, he has another 38k saved up in the bank. And I can build like 3 mega tanks this turn on my economy. A bunch with a lot of infantry. But once again, man, 76k saved up. Another Merchant Union. And he's just outproducing me with mega tanks right now. He has so many mega tanks, and he's going to get a bunch more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm looking at this, and I'm like, yeah. Yeah, this is not going to work out. This is, man, I kept fighting for quite some time. I thought I resigned like two days ago, but no, like, this is, there's no way I can keep up with this kind of war machine. It's just not possible. I tried to save up some money, but you can see how much it's hurting me that I don't have these properties. Sure, I am capturing them, but this battleship is just going to continuously interrupt my properties. And I'm just not getting these. I'm just not getting these. It's not happening. And the mega tanks are just rolling in right now. They're not dying. I can't really deal with them. I popped my last Merchant Union, but I believe this is a desperation one. You see how, like, Hachi can keep the game going for so long. Like, he just, like, even when he dies, it's such a slow defeat, you know? But man, like, I really thought I had a chance here. I mean, look at the unit count, 41 to 17. Like, in any other game, when you notice these unit count numbers, it would be GG. But another Merchant Union comes in, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more mega tanks. Oh my goodness. Here I build a sub and a missile and I resign. Yeah. What a stupid match. And I remember, I think I sent him a message. Yeah, I said, maybe there's a reason Hachi's permaban. He says, yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, great balance CO right here, ladies and gentlemen. But I had fun, though. That's all that matters. I had a lot of fun, and this was unranked, so who cares? Please allow us to do this more. Don't just do 1 week a year, please. I have more games to show off. I played Hachi versus Javier. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this incredibly silly game. There will be a lot more cool Tier 0 games to come, because again, there is that Tier 0 tournament being hosted right now. And I think it's going to produce some absolutely wild games. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye! Wait, what did I do? I have no idea what's going on. Professional YouTuber.